delicious orange juice. We all drink it, but do you ever think about where it comes from? These people do. They're undocumented immigrants, and they know where it comes from because they pick the oranges that are in it. They also pick the tomatoes in your salad, mow your lawns, clean your hotel rooms, hang your drywall, even help raise your children. Right now, there's an estimated 11 million undocumented immigrants living in this country today.
It was possible for 11 million illegals to come here. Why is it impossible for them to leave?
People who oppose immigration reform say these workers are just feeding off the system.
The vast majority of illegal aliens are consuming welfare programs.
We have illegals coming here taking jobs. We have people at home that need these jobs.
But are businesses really ready to get rid of such cheap and dependable labor? How many jobs are these immigrants actually taking away from Americans? It may be a policy debate in Washington, but in the orange groves of Polk County, Florida, it's a life of fear, backbreaking labor, and the looming threat of deportation.
It's the hardest I've ever worked for 93 cents.
Florida. Palm trees, retirees, manatees, and one of the largest communities of farm workers in the country. On any given day, about 400,000 farm workers are tending to crops and fields. In fact, Florida produces about 63% of all citrus grown in the U.S., and Polk County produces more of it than any other county in the state, with about 30 million boxes harvested per year. Chances are pretty good that if you had an orange today, it came from Polk County, and a migrant worker picked it.
Yeah, the thing for me that I don't understand is everybody says, well, we've got all these high unemployment rates, but there's all these jobs that no American citizens will actually go apply for. People could go and pick strawberries, pick, oranges, pick whatever, but they don't. So today, hopefully, I'll kind of start to gain some insight into exactly why that is.
Good morning. Welcome to Portworx. How may I help you?
Yeah, I wanted to speak to someone about getting a job in agriculture.
Okay.
PolkWorks is a job placement center for Polk County residents. They help place workers in all kinds of industries, including the agricultural industry. It's the perfect place for me to find a job.
People who pick produce, like oranges, can come here and basically find out what jobs are available within the community.
Morgan Spurlock?
Yeah. So what I want to find out is, how hard is it to get one of these jobs? Are there not enough Americans to fill these jobs?
So you're looking at citrus harvesting?
Correct. And why aren't there, if that's the case? Why do we have to get visa workers from Mexico to come over to do these jobs if there's so many people unemployed in the States right now? So how many jobs in citrus or in agriculture per calendar year do you have?
Last year we had about 7,000 different job openings.
Wow. And these jobs are open to Americans?
Absolutely.
And then how many people came in and applied for those?
Actually about 1,500 came in and applied for those, and out of those about 336 were hired.
How many of them stay?
I think technically about 5% overall are the ones that actually stay.
5% out of 336. I mean, that's like 15, 16 people. 16 people for 7,000 jobs. And so then who takes those jobs?
They usually come from outside the United States then.
Right. I just can't believe only 5%. That's incredible.
But then this may be part of the reason why. The worker will carry an 18 to 20-foot ladder to the particular area of the grove to be harvested. The fully loaded picking sack weighs between 80 and 100 pounds, depending on the variety of the fruit.
Wow. And what is the pay for something like that?
Valencia oranges, we're looking at 95 cents per 90-pound field box.
So per giant sack that you would get would be 95 cents. Wow.
All right, so you're still interested?
Yes.
You are? Okay.
Yeah, I am.
We're going to actually refer you.
The thing that I want to do now is see what this job's really like. Go out, work in the field, and just see how difficult and strenuous it is, and try and get a better sense of why people aren't taking these jobs.
Of course, some people are taking these jobs. Immigrant laborers. There's mainly two ways that farms and citrus groves find workers. One way is the H-2A Guest Worker Visa Program, a sort of stopgap measure designed to get immigrant workers in the field without granting them permanent residency. it's neither a path to citizenship nor particularly popular with the agriculture industry. So that leaves undocumented immigrants. After surviving a dangerous border crossing, they take whatever jobs they can find and generally live life in the shadows to avoid being deported. Most see the risk as the only way to make a better life for themselves and their families.
Make a left up here.
Carlos is a 20-year-old undocumented immigrant. Born in Mexico, Carlos was brought to America as a 6-month-old infant with his migrant farm-working family. Since he was 9 years old, he's been working in the fields with his father Pascual, picking tobacco, oranges, and onions. Despite living here his entire life, Carlos still lives under the same constant fear of prosecution and deportation. He and Pascual have agreed to teach me how to pick oranges before I start my first day of work tomorrow.
You ever picked oranges or done any kind of field work?
Yeah, I mean, I've picked things off trees, but it's like you pick one, you pick it, you eat it. I've never, had to pick 2,500 to fill a tub. I think I'm gonna be sore by the end of the day tomorrow.
Well, my dad, he's 49, but
Wow.
that's nothing. I know people that are 70 picking oranges because it's a necessity.
Yeah.
You have to. But hopefully, if I can better myself, I can help my family. Like what he did for me, I'll do it for him.
What do you want to do with your life?
I really want to go to law school. And I
You want to be a lawyer?
Yes, a
That'd
lawyer.
be amazing.
Even with his good attitude and grades, it's going to be tough for Carlos to become a lawyer. As an undocumented immigrant, Carlos is prohibited from practicing law in the United States.
Where do I pull in? The
You
next
could just
right in the driveway?
This is it.
He can't even get a job, except as an illegal hire. So, he still works in the fields, just like his father.
Oh, that is a very heavy ladder. Very top-heavy ladder. You know what I think's easier for me? I think I want to carry this ladder like this. So where are we going?
Vaya adelante.
Carlos's father Pascual has been working in American fields for more than 20 years. And to celebrate, last year he had open heart surgery. But he didn't have much time to recuperate. He was back working in the field 6 weeks later. As an undocumented immigrant, he can't file for disability payments. So if he doesn't pick, he doesn't get paid. With a family to feed and a hospital bill to pay, not working is not an option.
And so where should you start when you're picking a tree?
De arriba para abajo. Así aquí.
That's how you climb the ladder.
And do you just pull them straight off, or you gotta
You
turn
gotta
them?
like twist it.
Yeah. Hey, Pascual, have you fallen off a ladder?
No, gracias a Dios,
No.
nunca.
Thank God,
No.
no. Use your leg. He was using his leg.
So that's one sack. How many?
Yeah.
So how many more sacks to fill it up?
¿Cuántos morrales ocupas?
Como 10:30.
10 and a half.
Wow.
How long do you think it would take you to do one of these barrels?
2 horas, 3 horas,
Si no lo hace uno por $9 en una hora, no conviene.
Yes.
1 hour.
You don't do the barrel in 1 hour, then you need to do something else.
Then do another job.
Yeah. So you put it right there.
Put it right here.
Yeah. Switch out with his ladder.
Yeah.
But always put it like next to a big limb. You know that it's gonna hold your weight.
How do you get the ones that are like up in the top in the middle of the tree up there?
Just climb right in the middle of the tree.
You got to climb up the tree?
Yeah.
Oh man, there's a bunch in here.
I can't believe how much I'm learning.
Ow.
For example, did you know that orange trees have thorns?
These thorns are the ones you want to stay away from. Ugh. It took me, 15 minutes to fill up this one bag.
Ese Vax, más baby que este.
Oh yeah. Stop trying to make me feel bad.
Tiene que llenarlo en 4 o 5 para que le convenga.
I have to fill this bag in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work. Mucho trabajo.
Mucho trabajo, sí. Hay una ocasión que me dijo un gringo que nosotros los mexicanos fuimos unos tontos con venir y meterse a trabajar por lo que quisieran pagarlo.
You said you were crazy.
Dice, mexicano, dice, ustedes vienen por $9. Y yo, no, por $15.
That's why he said $15, he'd do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So give me some advice tomorrow, since I'm going to be working all day tomorrow.
Pues él sabe, pero va a salir bien cansado de no poder sentarse al baño.
You're gonna be really tired that you're not even gonna be able to sit on a toilet.
Sí.
I'm on my way to meet the crew I'll be picking with tomorrow. And after my lesson with Carlos and Pascual, I'm feeling pretty confident.
Luckily for me, I'm like a good 1.5 feet taller than Carlos and Pascual, so I got a little bit of reach. So I might be able to get those real hard to reach oranges.
The workers that I'm picking with are all H-2A guest workers. They're all here legally and temporarily. H-2A visas require employers to provide housing and transportation for the guest workers, so workers have virtually no expenses while they're here. They send most of the money they make straight back to Mexico. And when the picking season's over, they'll return to their homes, their families, and their lives, all in the hopes of getting another H-2A visa next season, even though it does not provide a pathway to citizenship. So what's the quickest way to become an American citizen? Well, short of being born here, it's just like most things in life. It comes down to whom you know. If you want all access to the exclusive Club USA, your best bet is to be related to someone who's already there, legally, like a parent, child, or spouse. They can sponsor you, and that at least gets your name on the list. Of course, if you don't have family here, there's still some ways to get your foot in the door, like the EB-5 Investor Visa. This one's pretty easy to get, as long as you have $1 million sitting around to invest in a new American startup. Great for business, but kind of rules out you're tired, you're poor, and your huddled masses yearning to breathe free. But if all else fails, you can sponsor yourself. You've got to be pretty special, though, to get in the club that way. In fact, you've got to be positively extraordinary. People with certain skill sets or knowledge, rocket scientists, entrepreneurs, and mathematicians, for example, can get an Alien of Extraordinary Ability visa. Makes sense. We need brilliant people who excel in their fields to help push the country forward. The only problem is that extraordinary is pretty subjective, meaning those visas have gone to professional bikini models, squash players, magicians, even Playboy playmates. None of that helps Carlos. Since he was brought here illegally, he isn't eligible for any of these visas. Seems the US government doesn't think fruit pickers and farm workers are extraordinary, even though a multi-billion-dollar industry believes them to be invaluable.
Home sweet home.
Home sweet home.
I start work tomorrow, so tonight I'm moving in with the pickers and staying in the crew housing.
How many guys stay in this house?
10. So you're 11?
Hola. I'm Morgan. Me llamo Morgan.
Yeah. This is the dining room or dining area?
Right?
Eric is the crew leader
There's the kitchen.
and my new boss. Just 23 years old, he's an American citizen whose parents were pickers.
Are you guys in charge of cleaning it too?
Yeah.
As the foreman with tough quotas to reach, it's his job to make sure he gets the absolute best out of every person in the field, including me.
Pillow, nice.
Standard issue.
Standard issue.
Doing it.
That's a good-looking brand new bag. See that?
All American.
It's an all-American, red, white, and blue. What's the secret to go faster?
Just move your hands.
Just move my hands. Don't even pay attention.
Don't even pay.
Like Mr. Miyagi style, just like be the orange.
If you spend 6 months living and working with 10 guys, you want to make sure everybody gets along.
What can I help with?
So all responsibilities for cooking and cleaning are shared.
Good. Bueno. Okay. So who did the most tubs today?
Nathan, the guy you're helping?
Yeah.
He did 10.
10. So that's a good day.
I tried sharing
That's a
it.
great day.
I tried
Yeah.
cutting and pasting the link, and I pasted it
So guys,
in
why
and
did you
gave
decide
it
to do the
arrows.
H-2A visas rather than come into the
I
country
don't know.
illegally?
If
Porque
this
más
works,
facilita más la venida que la ilegal. La ilegal se arriesga más la vida.
45 minutes, 50 minutes.
How does the money compare here to the money you could make in Mexico?
Most,
Like
it's
say
not
this
a
week,
problem. Most I can
you
get
made
for
$500.
$200.
How long would it take you to make that in Mexico?
This is An Inside Man by Morgan Spurlock.
A month.
It's really good.
So you could make a month's wages in 1
Purchased
week.
that one
Lo que
already.
gané hoy, los 10 baños que gané hoy,
Try it.
es lo que me pagan toda la semana ir al México.
Wow. You have family, so you have a wife in Mexico, en esposa? ¿Y hijos? How many?
That's
¿Cuántos
the other
hijos?
thing.
Tengo
is
uno y
like,
van a ser el
you know,
segundo. En marzo.
if it's an
In March.
expectation
So
that
you'll be here when the baby's born.
Yeah.
Is your wife mad?
¿Por qué? Póngale que enojada, ¿no? Pero triste sí, porque no es lo mismo.
Yeah. How many tubs do you guys think I'll be able to do tomorrow? One? Come on, just one? It wasn't really?
Yo pienso que no
But
sé.
there's really good stuff on
Okay.
it. It's like,
Five?
I
Five.
got 13.
Okay.
Somebody must have jacked
We'll see who's
it on
right.
YouTube and
Okay.
was able to put 13th up there, then document 13th about African American in prisons.
Oh, yeah, right, yeah.
So anyway, I'm really getting this canvas thing excited. Like I got
Are you
stuff
nervous?
going.
No?
You're not nervous.
Why should I be?
I was hesitant, but
I'm just saying, like,
I should be nervous, that's what you're saying.
a little bit.
A little bit.
Work starts before dawn.
so
While most
assuming
people are
this
still
works, I know
sleeping,
it's time
we're heading out to
consuming,
the fields for
but
the
I won't
day.
have to do it that often.
Normally,
So it's 5:45 in the morning. I got up almost an hour ago, helped make lunch for all the guys that are going out today and for myself. Wednesday this morning. And we'll be on the field and picking by 7.
Most workers are
There
young
is.
men with
It
wives
still
and
didn't
children
work
back home,
because
yet they leave those families for at least half the
it
year
didn't
to work in these
The one
fields.
thing I didn't try is going to the share because I just cut and pasted from a tab on the phone. So I don't know if that tab, that number or code is different than the one.
And
you
here's your
share.
ladder.
Great. Which way should I head? Just where everybody else is going?
Yeah, just head straight down,
Okay.
and I'll meet you down there.
Okay.
that will embed it into the canvas.
Carrying my ladder. Got to carry it about, I don't know,
Try it.
quarter mile,
One
half
way or
mile
another,
to
it's gonna
where
work.
I'm picking today.
Thank you.
This is my line of trees right here, so I'll work down until I meet whoever that is on the other end, somewhere in the middle. It's around $9.50 per tub, so my goal today is to get at least 6. If I was gonna really make a living wage, I'd need to have that first tub filled in an hour. Well, I'm right here. Go ahead and do these.
Pasquale recommended picking from the top of the tree down, but I'm going to try my own technique and start at the bottom.
I just feel like from the ground I can get a lot without having to get on the ladder.
You can get like 2 at a time if you want, or
Yep.
the faster you move, the more.
The more I can pick. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna kill it today.
I've never had a white person on my crew. I've heard stories where Americans don't cut it at this job. They expect an easy job, and it's really not that easy. It's heavy work.
See how that didn't even like cover the bottom of that? At least the oranges that we were picking yesterday were about that big, you know? These, look at this. It's like a nectarine. I think I need to get the ladders now.
I finally understand Pasquale's strategy because the last thing I feel like doing right now is climbing up the damn ladder.
I have a feeling that is gonna fall. Let's see. Dude, this sucks. Is that gonna stay? Whoa. I think one more bag, I'll be done with my first bin. Which, isn't bad.
Almost full, Morgan?
How many more bags does that need?
Looks like it needs 2 more.
2 more?
I'm gonna help you out with one, though.
Something tells me Eric doesn't have much faith in me. But if he's gonna help me fill the tub, I'll take the pity.
How many tubs have you guys gotten done so far?
Each guy, like around roughly 2 or 3.
And the time it's taken me to do 1.
Yeah,
Right.
you'll be all right.
Eric just wanted to rub it in how slow I am. Is that 1?
Yeah,
Nice. 2 hours for my first tub?
yeah.
Is that pretty terrible?
Just about.
All right, see you in a bit, man.
All right.
So it took me 2 hours to fill 1 tub, which it's $9.50. So I made $4.75 an hour for my first 2 hours. Now time to get back to work.
So far, I've been picking oranges for 3 hours.
Well, I can honestly tell you, it does not get easier as the day goes on.
For so-called unskilled labor, it's a lot tougher than it looks.
It's 2 down, lots more to go.
I'm not just the worst picker in the field today, I'm also the only American citizen. Every single worker here with me today is a foreign citizen on an H-2A visa. But H-2A isn't popular with most employers. In fact, only 4% of the businesses that can use it do so. Riverfront Packing is the largest grapefruit distributor in Florida, and they don't participate in the program.
We have an adequate local workforce that we have not been forced into or pushed into participating with the H-2A program.
Like many businesses, they find the regulations that come with H-2A to be expensive and burdensome.
The housing is a cost, the transportation to get them to and from, and sometimes they don't stay. I think it was a noble effort, but we need to recognize that it's a much broader issue. We don't really know the level of illegal immigrants working here. Do we have everybody here properly documented, and do we meet the letter of the law? Absolutely. But as I was told once when I asked this question at a seminar, well, what if I see a document that I'm not sure is legal? The question I got was, are you an immigration officer? If you question that, you could be subject to discrimination charges. I think if all of the undocumented workers were all to be deported, the people that think food comes from the grocery store would be in for a rude awakening.
And in 2011, Alabama and Georgia made an effort to do just that. Crack down on all the undocumented immigrants in the workforce. They did it with a campaign of tough new laws, like making it a crime to transport or harbor immigrants who are in the country illegally, as well as mandatory use of the federal E-Verify system to check a potential worker's documents against the federal database.
I believe now that we have the strongest immigration bill in the country.
Undocumented workers were spooked by the newly stringent laws and left for other states that hadn't passed such harsh anti-immigration policies.
I've told many people that this is actually probably the largest economic development job creation bill that the state of Alabama has ever passed.
Sure, if by economic development he means states and businesses losing billions of dollars in income and tax revenue. With no undocumented immigrants working, crops literally rotted in the fields. After half a day, I can tell you firsthand why nobody came to replace the immigrant workers. The work is excruciating. I've been here since 7, and I've still only finished 2 bins.
Oh, look at that. They're falling out of my bag.
Comer, Morgan?
Yes, absolutely. It's lunchtime. ¿Cuántas tubs tienes? 5. So what was the quota today that you have to hit?
I have to hit 3 trailers, and that's like 8 tubs per person.
I don't think I'm gonna hit 8 tubs today.
Morgan's pace compared to everyone else, like on a 1 to 10, he would be a 2, which is as many tubs as he's filled all day.
Have any of the guys out here worked with Gringos before?
Sí, porque dejaban varias naranjas por donde quiera.
And how long did they last?
Como una semana, pero nada más hacía 2 todo el día.
See, so I'm already doing as good as that guy.
He's coming to meet you.
Oh, okay.
So you better.
I better pick
try.
up the pace.
He'll
I'm gonna get 4 today, at least. At least 4.
Another half hour of hard work, and I've only gotten about halfway through my 3rd bin. But before I can even celebrate...
You almost done, Morgan?
Eric the foreman's back, pushing me to meet the quota.
3rd one's almost done. It's like about more than halfway.
All right.
How much time we got left?
Another hour and a half.
Okay. So tired, I'm missing my own bag. I don't feel it in my legs, but boy, right in my lower back. I tell you there, and in my forearms, just from like this repetitive motion of like. So one of the workers asked me, he said, well, what do you think it would take for an American to come out here and do this job? And I think it would take like $30 an hour. Guaranteed, like not even based on the buckets that they get. And then when you'd go to the grocery store, your orange juice would cost $12. Because after being here, I tell you what, I don't think most of you would do this job. That's the fact. Sounds like it's time to go. So I wouldn't get paid for this one today. Because it's not full. Oh, man. So now if you look what I made today, I only finished 3 bins, $28.50, $2.85 an hour over 10 hours.
Well, Morgan, time to go.
That's like 3 2/3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, was it easy?
Absolutely not. It was even harder than I expected it would be.
But you exceeded my expectations.
I did.
I figured you would have quit. But
Thanks for having so much faith.
You pulled through. You pulled through.
Let's go home.
Let's go.
I couldn't even imagine like having to do this every day, 6 days a week for your whole life.
Blessing.
Very hard.
How many?
3 2/3.
Not too bad.
Not too bad.
For a first day.
But not too good.
I know.
Yeah, not too good.
After an incredibly long day picking oranges, I can't wait to go to bed. But it's Friday, and that's payday. So the bus makes a last stop at Plaza Mexico. Plaza Mexico is a one-stop shop for H-2A workers. It's a shopping center, restaurant, and bank all rolled into one.
Man, this place is busy, man.
Yep.
How many guys come in here and cash their checks?
Like at least 600 more.
Wow.
About 200 are from our company.
Okay. Do they wire money home as well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Over there. Siga.
How much do most guys send home?
Well, he would have to leave like 50 for groceries and then like 20 for like laundry.
So is that guys are usually only keeping back like 60, 70 bucks?
Yeah.
It's like a casino in here. It's just like so much money changing hands.
When we do head back to the camp, I discover a little keepsake from my day.
I hit my leg on the bus. I was like, why did that hurt so much? And then I pulled up my pants leg, and I got a thorn stuck in the side of my leg. So, see if we can't take that out now. Ow. 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 Look at that.
A little souvenir I can keep forever to remind me of my long day of back-breaking labor.
You know, I feel like what I got to experience, you know, was something most people will never get to. And I think it's eye-opening because it does give you a tremendous moral respect for these guys and what they do. I'll be thinking about them every single time I have a glass of orange juice for the rest of my life.
I'm gonna miss you. And your free tips.
Thank you for everything.
You're welcome.
By most people's standards, picking oranges is low pay for hard work. But for the H-2A workers, it's a decent paying job. And while it isn't luxurious, it's safe and it's legal. With H-2A workers making up less than 5% of the workforce, the other 95% have to live somewhere. Carlos and Pascual, the men who taught me how to pick oranges, have invited me home to meet the rest of the family.
Hey, how are you?
And this is my mother.
A lot of people think undocumented immigrants are somehow abusing our social system. But in reality, they're not even in the system.
This is my home.
They aren't eligible for benefits, even if many of them live well below the poverty line.
This is our kitchen.
Yep.
Sometimes when it rains, it leaks, but we still keep warm during the winter when it does rain.
Hi, how are you? ¿Cómo está?
And this is my room. Like I said, it's not the best of room, but here's where I've been able to get straight A's on this desk. I'm really thankful for that.
So what do you think over the course of a year, like the total salary both of you guys bring in for a whole year to support your whole family?
¿Cuánto crees que ganas tú por un año entre los dos?
Como 25. Con 25, 26 mil dólares.
Together, like with her working in the egg factory or the egg farm and him working in the still as a migrant worker, it's like $25,000.
And that's to support a family of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and plus your sister.
Yes.
So it's like to support a family of 6.
That's, yeah, you see where we're at.
Do you guys pay taxes?
Pagan taxas? So you still got to pay taxes.
And does your employer take it out or do you pay it?
Las taxas te la quita como te hacen el cheque, Carlangas.
They take them out of the check?
Yeah.
So you pay taxes to the state of Florida. So what do you get in return for paying those taxes?
Pues, ¿qué me puede dar? Nada. Pues yo me vine pensando porque le contaban a uno mucho de aquí. Y cuando llegué aquí, de plano lloré. Porque se la ve uno muy difícil aquí en este país, muy difícil.
Siento que no hemos progresado mucho, hemos estado aquí mucho tiempo trabajando y no sé.
Do you still believe in the American dream?
Dios me llegó la oportunidad de conocerlo y llegar a tener ellos, pero yo quiero que progrese, el que no sufre lo que yo sufrí de niño.
That we can become something else other than just being a farm worker. We can be lawyers, we can be doctors, we can accomplish anything we set our mind to.
Would you be happy if he became a lawyer?
Pues yo para mí sería la felicidad, me daría mucho gusto llegar a ver a mi hijo en el lugar que él quiere estar. Hijo mío sería el hombre más feliz del mundo. Que dijeran, mira el hijo de aquel naranjero donde anda trabajando.
Pasquale's family wants to live the American dream, and they're willing to work hard to achieve their goals, no matter the obstacles. And believe me, there's a whole lot of obstacles. If you're an undocumented immigrant, you can't get a Social Security card. And without one of those, you can't get Medicare, welfare, Social Security, or unemployment benefits. You can't apply for most jobs, and you can't get most credit cards. You can't even get a fishing license. You're ineligible for financial aid for college, federally funded health insurance, or an employment-based health plan. What you are eligible for is the draft. You also get to pay taxes. Apparently, the one thing that is easy for an undocumented worker to get is a bill from the IRS. In fact, in most states, you can't even get a driver's license, which means that every single time you get behind the wheel, you risk losing everything.
You've never been pulled over before?
Thankfully, no.
If Carlos or any member of his family is pulled over for even a minor infraction, they could be jailed for 48 hours until an immigration enforcement officer comes to interrogate them. They could be subject to any number of punishments, from getting a ticket to being deported and banned from returning to the U.S. for an entire decade.
Pasquale, do you worry when he drives the car?
Sí, y no quiero que le arruinen su carrera por algún ticket igual.
Right, because he could get pulled over one time and that could be it.
Yeah.
For Carlos's family, immigration reform isn't a political issue. It's the difference between a life lived with hope or a life lived in fear. I'm in Claremont, Florida this morning with Carlos, who's here today to participate in a march organized by Forward With Your Promise, an immigration rights group.
We're out here to make sure that Obama keeps his promises.
When Obama campaigned for the presidency in 2008, he promised an overhaul of immigration in the United States. And he did just that. President Obama deported nearly as many undocumented immigrants, 1.5 million in his first term, than George W. Bush did in both his terms, combined.
What we're trying to do is not just raise awareness about the broken immigration system, but to say, stop with the deportations until you fix the problem.
Right. Now that Obama's been reelected, he's making another promise that a comprehensive immigration reform will be in place by the end of his first year of his second term. But not everyone believes that will happen.
What's holding up these things getting pushed through?
They just don't want this crowd, you know, in the ascendancy mix.
Right. Why is that?
My personal opinion is in part because they're brown.
No brown people in power.
Well, you know, it's the demographic is changing, you know, and if this crowd gets legalized, you know, it's a young community with children. They're voters.
So just how important is the Latino vote? As the fastest growing minority group in the U.S., Latinos make up 16% of the population. If you want to be president of the United States, you need their support. And savvy politicians are already going after it.
sé que será un presidente excelente. Muchas gracias.
Bienvenidos, welcome to the White House.
No fue mi intención ofender a la comunidad latina.
Qué placer estar aquí con tantos amigos.
In 2008, 67% of the Latino vote went to Barack Obama. And in 2012, they voted to re-elect him with 71% of their vote, a vote they expect to lead to change.
Hey, Obama, don't deport my mama. Hey, Obama, don't deport.
But immigration reform is too big of an issue for just one party, so the marchers have made their way to Orlando, Florida, where they've assembled outside the office of Republican Senator Marco Rubio.
In front of Senator Rubio's office, we asked him to stand up and champion our cause.
They're giving a couple speeches. A lot of the local media has shown up, and now the plan is for them all to march inside and get Senator Marco Rubio to make a statement.
Vámonos, vénganse.
The son of Cuban immigrants, Rubio has the youth, energy, and background story that connects with many Latinos.
My grandfather was born to a farming family in rural Cuba.
And for a party that's woefully out of touch with 16% of the population, Rubio is the GOP's best shot at reaching this crucial vote.
His parents were Cuban exiles, and, you know, they did everything they could to guarantee him a better tomorrow.
Right.
So we're trying to say, you know, champion the cause. Whether he's here or not, nobody ever says anything.
Sure.
You know, it's like, we'll get back to you. You're an elected official, well, you should be available for the people.
Marco Rubio, 350.
We can only have one group in the elevator at a time?
Many of these marchers are undocumented, and they're taking a huge risk just coming here today.
Yes, we'd like to speak to Mr. Rubio.
Because an arrest could lead to being held and deported.
Hi there. Excuse us.
Y'all just step back a second. Gosh, I thought I was told there's 6 of you out here. Our room is not big enough to accommodate everybody. So if I could get 5 or 10 of you that we can meet with, that would be great. We'd be glad to. Okay?
Is Marco Rubio expected to address the crowd at all?
No, the senator's in Washington today.
In Senator Rubio's absence, a few of us have been selected to have an audience with Todd Reed, the senator's state director.
We need the Republicans to step forward, and we need them to help us.
I grew up here in Florida most of my life, but we migrated. I work with the youth. I've learned that we're stuck in a position where we have to take the opportunities that are there.
I don't know if any of y'all have had a chance to hear the senator talk about this issue. This is a very personal issue for him. And I think this year he's going to be taking a bigger approach. So I appreciate you guys coming.
Thank you very much for your time.
Appreciate it. Thank you all very much as well.
You're welcome.
Hey, appreciate it. Thank you for being here.
It was kind of like a little, very exciting democracy in action moment today.
I don't want to get ahead of the senator on this, but I would anticipate in the next few weeks you're going to hear him speak very clearly on where he is on this issue.
Maybe this is just a first step for them, so we'll see what happens in the next few weeks, but I think that this could have just been the catalyst towards something bigger happening. As planned, the Forward With Your Promise group marched on to Washington, where they got their meeting with Senator Rubio. But they had to wait a few more weeks to finally get a taste of what they all came to Washington for.
We're here to announce a set of bipartisan principles for comprehensive immigration reform legislation.
The Gang of Eight are a group of senators, including Senator Rubio, who have joined together across party lines to agree that immigration reform needs to happen, and it needs to happen now. Maybe not for the best reasons.
The Republican Party is losing the support of our Hispanic citizens.
For the first time ever, there's more political risk in opposing immigration reform than in supporting it.
But if reform is the result, that's all that matters to people like Carlos.
It's a pretty campus.
Yeah, it is.
All of Pascual's sacrifices have paid off, because with the help of private donations, Carlos has been able to enroll in a local college where he can work toward earning a law degree.
Es el segundo piso. Allá tenía un clase. I had to come and see you, Dr. Murphy. This is my father right here.
Nice to meet you.
I'm showing him around the campus.
Hey, how's it going, brother?
Can I introduce you to my dad?
Sure. Hello, nice to meet you. You should be very proud of Carlos. He's definitely one of our prized students.
A kid as dedicated as Carlos deserves the chance to contribute to society. And if immigration reform becomes a reality, the possibilities are endless.
Right there. Yes. On that hill. How long ago was that?
En el 2002.
I just never imagined that I'd end up coming here to go to school.
When you're here at school, you always have a reminder of the sacrifice that your dad made.
Yes, especially if one day I become a lawyer, I can't forget where I came from.
Yeah.
Congress is currently debating the plan to create legal pathways for undocumented immigrants and a new guest worker program which would better meet our labor needs. But it could still be a long road if and when these ideas are passed into law.
There's this soccer practice.
For Carlos, Pascual, and others who risk their lives to work for the American economy and the American dream, time is of the essence.
This is one way to reach out to the community because there's drugs and violence. People love soccer, so.
These immigrants are part of the fabric of our daily lives.
Thank you. Thanks for your time. Thank you very much.
And it's time they are allowed to live openly and work toward making a legitimate life for themselves and for their children.
I think that Carlos will work every day and night to become a lawyer just so he could hear his father say, look at this, look at my son. The son of a fruit picker became a lawyer. That's powerful.
From the company that I work for in Florida, picking oranges, there's my check, $86, 73 big ones. Now, in actuality, I only should have gotten paid for 3 tubs, $28.50. But since they can't pay you below minimum wage, I got the minimum wage adjustment, which is $65.47. This is probably one of the hardest jobs I've ever done in my life. Yeah.